Do I just drop it? All right, for real, I'm dropping it. Hi.
We wanted to film a video like this because a lot of parents don't know what's happening right now on the internet or what their kids are watching. And so when people say, oh, we're such cool parents, it's just because we're attuned to what our kids are doing and what they're watching and what they're into. And one of the hot topics this week was the face reveal of a person named Dream.
So Dream is a super popular creator, focuses on Minecraft. Until recently, nobody knew what Dream looked like. He was just an icon, just a smiley face. Very recently, he revealed his face to the world.
I already thought that gender reveals were pretty crazy, but now there's such a thing as face reveals. And this wouldn't be such a crazy thing, but this person has 30 million subscribers. And just so that you know, this is not a video for or against Dream. We don't know who he is as an individual. This is all about the anticipation that came with a face reveal, like revealing your face. So my first question would be, why did he feel the need to hide his face?
A lot of creators, they don't want to show their face. They want their content to speak for themselves. And especially in the gaming world, there are a lot of creators that never show their face. The way Dream created his content, from what I understand, from what I've seen, is he created these stories with his friends and they would do these manhunts. It was really cool. There was a lot of anticipation. There was a beginning and an end. So really, people were invested in the actual content. There was a separation of who this person was, and there's always that mystery, right? So I think that's what Dream was going for. There are a lot of creators, a lot of people in the industry that don't show their faces. There's Marshmallow, there's Corpse Husband, there's Daft Punk.
And I kind of have to respect that a little bit, where you don't want to be known for what you look like.
Right.
You want the content to speak for itself. Yeah. You want to be known for what you create, and we have very much done that as well. You know, like we dress like this when I know that if we dressed a little bit more provocatively, we would get a ton more views, but we don't want to be known for that. We want people to remember us for how we made them feel, what we created, what we added to the world versus what we look like. So this was fascinating for us, mostly because the kids, wow, it was like the revelation of revelations.
We had to drive home to see the Dream face reveal. It was the thing.
And it was like, did you? And they were messaging their friends, did you see? Did he come out yet? Did he see? Did he see? And so naturally we were very curious, like, hey guys, what's up? And Gabby's like, you really want to know? I said, of course I want to know what's happening, what's going on. And so she explained the whole situation to me, you know, showed me his face, and it's a lovely face. It's a face, just like everyone else has. But the issue was the response.
Right, mixed reviews and a lot of hate and a lot of memes. People can be so mean, it's crazy.
Well, we know that already from having shared ourselves with the world. It's not easy to do. A lot of people say, you know, how can you guys do that? You have to have a very thick skin if you're willing to put yourself out there, because hurt people hurt people.
Of course. Okay, so there's a lot of mixed reviews. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of positivity with this, but it's like, it's that expectation. It was that buildup. Everyone was going crazy. There were 1 million people live, ready to see Dream reveal his face. It's like, hey, well, like, what do you want? Do you want a unicorn to just appear and start floating around the room? Like, what was everyone expecting? He's a human being. Great.
And this is why I think parents need to be involved when it comes to social media, when it comes to people having their own channels. Like, I don't know how old Dream is.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But had that been our kids, we would have advised them differently. We would have said, okay, so you wanted to wear a mask for whatever reason, and now you want to show your face, which I totally respect, right? Like, you have this massive audience, you want people to know who you are. Do it like very nonchalantly. Just take the mask off from one day to the next. It's like, here I am, onward and upward, no big deal. But it was that build up, the anticipation, the countdown, which everyone was like, and then it's like, ta-da! And he looks like every other normal person. But then it gives trolls an opportunity to crush and destroy and be hateful and criticize, because of course there's a lot of keyboard courage warriors behind who hide
Right.
and are disguised and, you know, public, they don't have public accounts, it's on private accounts.
When you post hate on Twitter or when you follow the memes or you create your own memes and you think it's funny, there's an audience for that. So these haters do find that audience and they find that crowd. I mean, there's these massive hashtags like ugly dream or dream ugly or put the mask back on. There was all these crazy hashtags. So you see a hashtag and it's popular, so you're gonna join that bandwagon and you're gonna add to that hate. I would guarantee that the majority of these people posting hate don't really care. Otherwise, they really don't care about Dream Space. It's normal, just a normal day, but it was something to get on, something to talk about. You just have to remember that when a lot of this hate happens, a lot of it is just like bandwagon jumping. It's just kind of, people are just doing it, but they really don't care that much.
Or not only that, it just gives them an opportunity to project their own insecurity about themselves or hate or fear or whatever it is, because it's like easy targets.
Yeah.
And I think that now in this generation of kids where there is body dysmorphia, there is insecurity, there is a standard of beauty that is just unrealistic and unattainable. And so one of the really interesting things that I read about today is, do you know the real cost of toxic beauty standards? It's over $500 billion annually.
$500 billion in like profiting from toxic beauty standards?
Helping kids to overcome it.
Ah, wow, $500 billion to help kids overcome that.
Yeah, because when you imagine that all these kids are online and they're comparing themselves to these people who are either filtered to the nines or they've had some type of surgery or augmentation and now they feel like they're not good enough. They either may have an eating disorder or, you know, they don't want to go out into public. Like I have people who tell me that their children now don't want to take off their masks, or they don't want to go to like birthday parties because they don't want to go into the pool and show their bodies. And so when you accumulate all of this fear and insecurity that's being caused by beauty standards, these toxic beauty standards, like, can you imagine what would happen if now all parents just sat down and talked to their kids and say, please, do not look at this, don't compare yourselves. And furthermore, when you have people who just look like normal people, if you don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all.
Don't say, you don't have to say everything. That's the world we live in. And I know Philip DeFranco said the same thing with, 20 million views or 30 million views, there's always gonna be a percentage. So imagine, 1% or 2% of 20 million views, that's a lot of hate.
Don't you feel like it, that the level of toxicity and hate online is actually getting worse? We see it ourselves. It's sad because there's a whole new generation of kids, of young people coming into this social media
landscape.
Good word,
Thank
Papa. Good word. And so they come in, it's like, oh, cool, so it's normal to be mean and to make awful comments about people's appearance. Whoever said that we all have to look the same?
Right, because back in the day, it used to be like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Now, it's like, if you don't have something nice to say, try saying something mean because you might get likes.
And so we just wanted to come out, and as parents who we talk a lot to our kids about everything, especially what they're interested in. So for them, we wanted to let them know that that was not necessary. First of all, it wasn't necessary because you kind of don't want to feed the trolls. And secondly, these people that are making these awful comments, where are they coming from? Who are they? And should they be listened to? Because chances are they're carrying something within that they just want to like.
I've never left hate messages on someone's post. Like, I've never done that, so I don't understand it, I don't see it, but it is what it is. It's out there. People, there's gonna be all kinds, positive, negative, high vibing, low vibing, and as a creator, you just have to understand that that's gonna happen. You just need to know that it comes part of the territory.
But it's important for parents to know what their kids are doing, what they're watching, what they're engaged in, what's interesting to them, so that you can kind of like put the pieces together and help guide them and tell them what's real and what's not real.
Mama B, was this a good idea or a bad idea? What do you think that Dream revealed his face?
I think it's a good idea that he did reveal his face. Like, I think that when you have achieved that high level of success to amass 30 million followers, like that's
huge. And he really did his homework. He read over 200 books, learned the system, how to create content, how to tell a story using Minecraft. and it's absolutely incredible.
It's no small feat.
Oh my god!
Right? People think like, oh, you film videos for a living. Oh,
Yeah, no.
If people only knew how much work and forethought and emotional intelligence goes into building an audience
Massive.
authentically. And so, of course, that's amazing.
Yeah.
What I thought could have been done differently was the build-up and the anticipation and the quote-unquote face reveal. Can we like stop with the reveals? It's never what you think. Do you know, Papa, that there's actually a thing called the halo effect?
The halo effect.
What do you think the halo effect is?
If you're really good at a very specific video game called Halo. No?
Good try, but So the halo effect is actually a perception error. And the halo effect is a cognitive bias. Do you know what a cognitive bias is?
Cognitive bias, like your brain basically has already decided what the outcome is.
Right. It's a misunderstanding based on your perception or judgment.
Okay.
And so it's where we get an impression of someone based on one thing. So in this case, it's how they look. And then that affects our impression of them and their other characteristics. For example, whether someone is good looking. And so we think that because someone is good looking, right? Imagine, actors or celebrities or leaders, politicians, where they have a full head of hair or they have perfect teeth and they say all the right things. And then we assume that they are intelligent, kind, smart, loving, that they have good morals, when in fact, the opposite can be true. And we know that.
Right.
Because we have trusted people who were very good looking and we got scammed.
Bamboozled.
And so the opposite is true as well, is that you find people who don't fit the beauty standard, who might, look different or scary, quote unquote scary, but they can be the kindest, most loving souls. And so the halo effect is very important, especially when you're dealing with social media.
Right.
Because you get to see through the illusions and the perceived assumptions and judgments that we make about people. So in this case, people are judging him by his looks, but what has he done? What has he accomplished? This is what we tell the kids, is don't be drawn in by what people look like. Sit down and have a conversation with them. And that's how you know what their heart is. How do they think? How do they make you feel? Are they a good person? Do they have good intentions, good morals, good values, integrity? And so this is something that I wish more parents talked about with their kids, and especially was talked about on social media.
Right. I like that. Hear, Mama B. Hear.
Like Papa B. So when I met Papa B, he was a good looking guy, but I didn't care much for that. For me, I love the fact that he was ambitious. Look at that ambition, baby. Look in his eyes. But it's true, he was very ambitious, he was very hardworking, he had all these big ideas. That attracted me to him was that he was hardworking and he was also kind to children, he was kind to animals.
Thank you.
He made me laugh. And so again, I didn't have that cognitive bias of like, oh, what does he look like? Because guess what? All our bodies are gonna change. It was your values that attracted me to you and who you were as a person.
Oh, thank you.
I got lucky because you are very good looking and very handsome, but
wow.
I think that's really important to discuss with children especially.
Yeah, no, extremely important. Very important to discuss this, and as a parent, if you're watching this, watch this with the kids, or watch it first, then talk to the kids about it.
We get a lot of comments from young people saying, oh, I wish my parents were like you guys and that they talk to me and that they teach me. And we very much do that for our kids. Like we have hour-long or 2-hour conversations with our kids about a number of topics, because that's what you do as parents, is you teach and you guide and you are like that life coach for them that's telling them, you see what's coming up? Okay, this is what you can expect.
Yeah.
This is what you can do. This is what you can anticipate.
And
so
at every age, you're teaching them.
Oh yeah.
So at 6, at 16, at 26, at 36, you're always teaching your kids something. There's always something to learn. So
parenting is not a big secret. Like when people ask me, Mama, can you film a video on what it means to be a good parent? Well, this is where you start, is you start that foundation where you are the number one teacher, teaching them, guiding them, explaining things to them, like this situation, which is huge right now.
It's a massive situation, and it's a great learning experience. It's amazing to talk about because it's something that rarely happens, and when it does, it's something that we need to talk about. We need to bring it up because there's something more than just revealing a face. There's something more to it. There's a whole another piece to it.
It's a teachable moment. Everything is a teachable moment as a parent. And here it's about just appreciate people, not based on what they look like. I think that a lot of people actually have made it to the top based on what they look like, and they may not actually be really nice people with good intentions. And so just accept people for what they look like, who they are. Listen to their heart versus all of this.
Yeah, which is nice. If you feel good about styling your hair, if you feel good about putting on makeup, that's great, 100%.
But that cannot be your whole entire identity.
No, what's the value? What value are you creating to make the world a better place?
So we want to do more videos like this, more topics that are important to you that you want us to discuss from a mother, father, mama, papa, parents. And so if there is something that you'd like us to talk about, let us know in the comments.
Down below, let us know, and we will we do these.
Your thoughts. This was fun, Papa.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah.
So we'll do more of this.
We'll do more.
What do you want to hear? Let us know in the comments down below. And until next time, Mama B.
We love you.
I thought you were going to say
and
peace.
You're beautiful. And you're wonderful. And whatever you look like, you are perfect because God doesn't make mistakes. We are all one of a kind. And so embrace what makes you unique and special. We love you. Mwah!